Right, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday. I'm down here for a quick overnighter. I haven't been down here in about 3 weeks. I haven't done a blog for you yet on it, so this will be the first one. It's a private syndicate. It's made up of, I think, nine lakes, and this is the second biggest. It's got the record carp in it. It's called Clover. It comes out around about 40 to 42 most of the time, but it's been out 3 times this year, which is quite good. And then it goes down for a list of them, right down the list. I think there's about 6 that are over 35, which I wouldn't mind getting my hands on at all. But no, it's very warm, a bit too warm for my liking. It's 11 o'clock in the morning and my thermometer says that it is 26. Don't like that at all, not very good for fishing. Apart from if you're putting some mixes out or something, I'll give that a try today. See if they'll have it or not. But there's a few fish. I've got my spots are just out there over on the point and halfway up the rushes. I can see fish over the top of them. I can see a few backs and that sticking out. So I've got 2 chods that are in the weeds, so they're up mid water. That'll be a very good place to get them. Got my left hand rods on a bottom bait over in the corner. No, it's quite nice up here usually. It doesn't get too busy. It's I think there's about 6, judging by the cars, I think there's about 6 anglers on here at the moment. There's a good 20 pegs on here, so everyone gets a fair share of water. Very weedy. I mean, it's very weedy. When I joined the complex last year, I never really had a look around it before, and I saw it in full weed about July, I think it was, and I was very intimidated by it, but you have to push through it. And I started off back then fishing just a PVA bag with a pop-up. That's how I usually fish. That's that used to be my all-rounder, and it's didn't work too well. There's a lot of big roach and tension out in here, so I was just getting hammered by them. I spoke to a few regulars that have been up here a few years and got some pointers off them, changed to what they recommended, and straight away I've put my own edge on a few things, and it's worked definitely. Last year I think I had about 10 fish over 25, and I had a couple under, but I had 2 30s as well, my first ever 30, and it was a very good year. But I'm looking forward to this year, and I don't want to wish away the summer, but I'm looking forward to winter fishing up here. It's very hard, but it's so much more rewarding when you get one, and that's what we're looking for. But I won't be able to catch anything if the rod's ain't in the water, so. Right, just thought I'd show you where my spots are. Seeing as we've got a bit of time, just set up. It's Wednesday, and just here for an overnighter. Got 2 rods on the right on some chods with leg core, with a Corda safety system. You need it in here because there's every possibility that you get stuck in weed, and sometimes you just can't do anything about it, and that protects you in case anything breaks or gives way. And left hand rod is just on the reed line in front of us. I'll just zoom in to the spot where I am. There's a gap in the rushes just there, and it's about 6.5 foot deep, so it's nice clear bottom. Definitely looks like it could produce fish. I've put some bait all up the margin, not just on that one spot. See if we can get them coming in round the corner. That's a point just there. It can't be fished on, so got no chance of it being disturbed. There's a peg on the other side, but there's nobody in it this time, which is quite lucky. And then my other 2 rods are just on the edge of these rushes just here. Just got 2 chods on, like I said, white pop up. And I've got some boilies scattered about in all the weed, and looking like it's gonna produce something. There's a lot of fish on top, just backs out the water. So I've got a nice view of the gravel bar from here. There's the edge of the point, and the gravel bar runs from that point straight across to where my point is, and that's about it really. Got a big weed bank just in front of me at the bottom of the screen there. I have to watch out when playing something through that. It might be a bit tricky, but just using a simple bottom bait rig, just an anti-eject rig with 3.5 ounce lead with a 5 boilie stringer. I'll show you how I do that in a minute. But yeah, the 2 chods just got a little 1 ounce lead on, just because of the weed. You don't want it pulling it right into the weed, especially if there's 6 foot of it. Right, just thought I'd show you the basic mechanics of my rig. It's just a bit of tubing on the hook to help turn it over, with a bit of silicone on the shank as well, which just again helps it put in the fish's mouth quicker. I mean, it's laying there now and you can't even move it, it's straight in, turns over every time. So, and boilie is from Offspray bait. It's squid and liver. It's what we used on our French trip a couple of weeks ago, and we had about 5 kilos left over, so I'm confident in it. So that's what's happening on that end. It's got a Avid maize stop on it, which is brilliant because if you've got any rigs that have too short a hair, it's got the little stem that you hook on and it extends it just that little bit to make it perfect. And going down to the hook link material is Suffolk's black silt in 25 £, very low diameter, and it just nails to the bottom. It looks just like a bit of weed or a bit of dead weed and that. And onto the safety system, it's the Corda hybrid system, and I leave the O-ring on the end of the swivel because it helps it bend back in flight and reduces tangles, obviously. Bit of silicone over there. And I only put the tail rubber on about 3 notches, and what I'll do is I'll just do a simple granny knot with a bit of PVA tape around the clip to stop it coming off as it crashes into the water. And I've just got some weed green tubing on, not too much, just enough for it to pin it down. The general rule is that it should be longer than the rig, so I've got that covered. And to that, we're just going to get our stringer of 5 and our rig. Remember to always leave a gap between the boilers so that the water can attack the PVA, and hook it around there. And around that one, and then around that one as well. 9. That'll do. That'll land like that, and if you just see that on the bottom, that'll spread out just a tad. And if you see that on the bottom, look, it's obvious which one the carp's going to go for first. It's the one with the little sight bit on it, and that's basically my rig. It's nice and loose, so because of the weed close in, if I get a take, that'll be on the bottom there. Lead will come off. I'm free to play the fish. Right, it's time to put that bottom bait rig out there. It's all clipped up already. That's a nice drop just then. Right, first video down on my private syndicate, and I've got a good way to start it. Been down for an overnighter, got here yesterday morning and it was way too hot, and they're not interested in anything, no surface baits or anything, so had to hold it out till the afternoon. Baited up fairly heavy, probably a bit more than I usually do, and it paid off this morning. Proper nice fish. Got its energy back. Very nice linear. Been caught before, but not a very regular one. The mouth's very nice. That was just on a bottom bait, tipped off with a bit of maize, and it went off about 5 o'clock this morning. It's gone 28.11. Thought it was going to go bigger, but can't complain. Very nice. Right, it's coming up to 6 o'clock. Had nothing today, had that fish this morning, but it's just been too hot again, and there's been several people around the lake trying to get them on top, but unsuccessful. So I think it's more of a nighttime thing, but I'm off now, so I'll try and get down next week and do a couple more nights, because that should help, as both of the biggest fish in the lake have been out this week. So I timed it a bit wrong really, so I'll catch you next time.